No votes though tonight, right?
Nothing major happened. I guess we'll go ahead and start off by doing our roll call. I'm Cameron, AJ4TW.
Byron, N4CPT.
Yes.
Oh, Ray, N4QGB.
Ray Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay, good. Roland, and for BYU.
Tommy, K4MTL.
Charlie, KK4WLE.
Wayne, K60WX.
Roger, N4RWS.
David, KK4VCG.
Go for it.
Me?
Yep, you.
I forgot my name. I don't know who I am. Ed, A4YB.
That's right.
Chris, K4HC.
Cameraman.
Scott, KV4UP.
Matt, aspiring.
Aspiring.
Greg, KV4 UQB.
Tom, KB1P.
Look on our website
Cool.
and see if the look on our website and see if the stream comes up.
So
Look on the
next
news
thing, I
page.
guess, is board member reports, which I don't think I really have much. I put my January letter on the website. We're a little bit late with Feedline this month, getting transitioned over to new people doing new articles and stuff is kind of held up Feedline this month, but we're
Can you go to the news
working on
page?
it. It's coming. But my,
Go to the news page.
my little soapbox speech is on the website under the news section. Let me show you. This is the news section of the website, and scroll down, you can see first that Scott is doing a live stream right now. That's on there. And then this is last night's tech forum. That is a YouTube video of Software Defined Radio, recording of the tech forum from last night. And then here is my January letter. So if you wanna hear my full spiel, you can go right there. Let me do, go ahead and do the calendar. All the club meetings, VE tests, Hamfest, and if anybody has anything else they want added to the calendar, please let me know. I'll put it on there. This is tonight's club meeting. Next VE session is High Point, January 30th. Then we got another VE session February 13th. And there's February club meeting, more VE sessions, and Charlotte Hamfest in March 11th. If you're on here and you want to go to the Hamfest, or if you're on your way to Hamfest, you want to know where it is, our website is pretty cool. If you press find out more, and you have a decent internet connection, we actually have that's ticket price at the door, not the pre-sales. And then the address, and this box right here that hasn't loaded yet is Google Maps. So if you're ever trying to get to one of the events, check out our website, and it'll probably help you, might be able to help you find it. And then we have N4G coming up March 12th, and this has all the information here, which reminds me that David AJ4TF sent an N4G update to let us know what's going on with that, and that is also on the website. I think next time I'm going to bring a hotspot. This
Website
is
a little slow, no?
I figured it'd be cached because I just loaded it.
Oops.
Kill.
Richie wrote that script.
No, it's just slow.
Well, the March 12th is a Saturday, I believe, right? And 13th is a Sunday, and David will probably do a setup on a Friday.
Yeah, he's looking for mostly operators, and on the sign-in sheet, there's a,
Wherever it is.
there's also my background. This is background. It has operator sign-up sheet for N4G. And those stations are listed here. We'll have D-Star station, 2 main HF stations. So if anybody wants to sign into this, sign up for a slot. It's a good time to get prime time since not many people are here. No, you'll be there. I'll be there. We're like the back cleanup guys. But anybody else wants to sign in? Here's the sign-in sheet for that. So we need ops. I think we have radios covered. I think we have antennas covered. I think we have computers covered. So
And I think this year he's requested and got the little classroom.
Mm.
So if it gets extra cold or rainy, you can always move into the classroom like they did for field day.
That's good.
What's the date of that?
12, 13,
Of March?
yeah, 12, 13th of March.
Is it the same weekend as the Ham Fest?
Yep.
And the VD session?
Well, the VE session is the 3rd week that month.
Okay.
March is the only month where the VE session is the 3rd Saturday.
Oh.
I'm trying to find you a password.
Usually that.
You picked up my hotspot.
that's my hotspot.
Oh, it is?
I hope so.
Nice. Their safety's important.
You got him?
Yeah.
Well, you get it then.
I would like to once, but.
I think that's my hotspot.
Yeah, that was yours.
But I'm trying to find you a password. I don't know.
Password.
Let's see if I can find mine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But usually David sets up around 2 o'clock on Friday, and he always looking for people to help him set up. And if you're, and it's interesting to set up because we got the same trees as we usually set up, and it's going to be very similar setup to field day, except the amount of radio.
And we're gonna have actual pileups this year because N4G and Field Day are at MPO4 for National Parks in the Air. So this year is the centennial of the National Park Service, and the Guilford Courthouse National Military Park is one of the national parks. So we'll get a lot of activity probably.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll make it fun. It'll be cool. We won't be waiting around for people to answer our call.
Do you want to try a password? Click on that one and try a password. Who's got a pen?
Hey Cameron, can I just talk about upcoming
Go for it.
okay. First of all, this month we were going to have Bob Heil as our guest. If you don't know who Bob Heil is, if you ever heard of Heil microphones or Heil audio gear, he is the owner and inventor of a lot of that stuff. Came out of the 60s and 70s with bands like the Eagles and Peter Frampton. Anyway, he was going to be here, and he had made some plans with me to be here via Skype, but he didn't know that he was going to have to be in California for the it's a celebration of the 50th anniversary of his company put on at the North American Music Merchandisers, the NAMM show in California this week. So I'm working to reschedule him for later. I think it'd be fun to talk to him. Next month, for February, we'll have Don Wilbanks, A5DW, the fellow who reads Amateur Radio Newsline when we have our Newsline reports. He's on Ham Nation and very active with Amateur Radio Newsline, so he'll be our guest via Skype next month. And then in March, I have a few more months. March should be fun. Tim Duffy, K3LR, if you're not familiar with him, he has a big station in Ohio. He runs DX Engineering and Summit Auto Racing. So he's a big-time contester and teaches and has won all sorts of awards from the ARRL. And he'll be our guest via Skype in March. So, and then I've got April and hopefully May booked too. So we'll talk about those as they get close. But we'll get Bob back sometime this year. He's committed to it. So should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be cool. David, you want to do your? I think your slide is still here.
Yeah. David Vaughn, KK4VCG, new treasurer this year. Just reporting balances. The savings balance, as I noted, is as of 12/31 last year. We're still in transitioning some of the accounts over, so we have a hold on that. So I can't get an up-to-the-minute balance, but it's probably probably the same, 750691. Some major events that we took care of. We've got the liability insurance paid, so which we needed for N4G for the Park Service to grant us the permit. I'm still waiting on the physical copy of the policy to be delivered from Mercer. We paid the guy that made Richie, our website developer, and we've also given a $50 prize sponsorship to the NCQSO party. And then, of course, if you have any questions about dues or anything after the meeting, I'll be sticking around to collect dues or answer any questions.
Just for clarification, the website payment is for hosting. The website, it's not for the actual development, it's for hosting the actual site.
That's right.
Okay, well,
So just like.
he has been paid then, technically.
Well, our website developer hosts our site for us.
Yeah.
So there's that.
The same guy.
Same guy.
Oh, Jesse said it. Dang it. Oh, well. I want to put the engineering report on the website later. That didn't work. So who else?
Do you want to just mention the highlights of the engineering report? Essentially, the highlights are the Master 2 repeater, the 1.5 machine. The sensitivity's down a little bit. They're probably going to go out there and adjust the pre-selector to try to improve the sensitivity a little bit. They tried to put in, Cameron and Jesse were out there, was it 2 weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago? And attempted to put in the new DR1X Fusion repeater. The controller's finished with that. Jesse got it all programmed. Cameron had to do some work to the amplifier because the Helix cable they were trying to use wasn't working properly with it. So Cameron did a bunch of work to try to get that up and running and got that all straightened out. So thanks to Cameron for that. They got everything put in, and things were starting to work properly, and then before they left, the DR1X stopped transmitting. And we didn't know why. So right now it is at Yazoo being repaired under warranty. And when it comes back, there will be another attempt to try to put it in. And they're going to be success, hopefully. And we're going to be putting a a different internet router and Ethernet switch out at the repeater site for the D-Star machine, and for the DMR machine uses it, and some other stuff use it. So there's going to be some upgrades going on at the repeater site for the internet connection out there also. And that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yep. So we have 2 members at large.
I just want to, but everybody here probably knows that you can, if your ARRL membership is due, please try to join through the club. We should probably put that form on the website, right?
If we have it, we can do that.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. And for new people, if you ever decide to become a ham and join ARRL, which I highly suggest you do, new members, we get a bigger percentage of we get $1, I think, or $2, I can't remember, $2 for everybody who renews through the club, and we get almost half of the money for a new 50.
It was $15.
Yeah, 15, yeah.
Which I presume it still is.
Yeah, well, membership's gone up, I don't know how it's changed, but we get $15 from ARRL, so that's an extra income from the club, and in the past, that made us close the red up into the black. So I think we had 50 members last year, or 55 members joined ARRL through the club. And so we got $55 or $100 from the ARRL, which is a good benefit for being ARRL associate member club. Any questions? No?
You can join through the website?
Yep.
You can join the club through the website. The ARRL, there's a paper form that needs to be figured out.
And you just, well, I have, I think I might have an ARRL form with me today. If not, I'll give a copy of it to Scott, and he can figure out how to do it through the internet.
Or you can join ARRL on their website and give an extra $1 to the club.
He's a new member. He's going to be a new one, right? Going to be a new member, so we get more money.
Okay.
So, well, I don't have.
Yeah, if you want to give extra money to the club, we'll take it, no matter how.
You can do that on the website too. There's a donation form on the website for things such as that.
And do you have anything?
And since we're a 501c3, they're all tax deductible.
How about operations?
Absolutely nothing going on there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, yeah, dude, one thing, happen to remember.
I'll mail you
Got a call last night from he is a club member, but 2-5 was hung up. It sit there, Wilson, and on it say timed out, you have timed out the machine, start all over again. Trustee is in Florida. It finally, I don't know, so we finally got in touch with Danny, but that was a machine problem. So there is a 3-minute timer that is supposed to shut the machine down, and evidently did not work there. And hopefully one day hopefully we will not find out if ours works.
Our timer works.
It does on D-Star. I talked it down the other night.
I know, but does it stay down? If you just dead key it, will it stay down?
Oh, I had to unkey for it to
I
come
know,
back.
that's what I'm saying though. This just kept on, I heard it for 30 minutes. I'm just wondering if it will actually shut down. But that went on for 30 minutes, no ID at all.
Yeah, I heard that too. The repeater kept saying, repeater timeout.
They timed out about 10 times.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for reports. And anybody need a break? Take a 5-minute break, or we want to keep going?
Keep on going.
All right. So, in the November issue of QST, they had an article about ARRL guys going around to different ARRL what do they call them when they're
Hamfest,
It's a
sanctioned,
Hamfest.
sanctioned Hamfest.
Yeah, right. They call it like the convention.
Section.
So anyway, they were going around and they were testing the output of various HTs. And if you look at their results, basically about half of Baofangs they tested did not meet FCC regulations.
Hey, do you want to see if you can figure out how to turn those front lights out?
And this is
It
for
might be a little easier to see.
harmonic suppression. So first harmonic, second harmonic. I'm gonna do that one.
Ta-da! Perfect.
So I decided, hey, that would be fun to try. So I tried it. I don't have exactly the same setup they had. So this is the club's dummy load that we use testing the repeater, and the club's bird watt meter that we use testing the repeater. And I got those from Jesse today to use because my dummy load's like at the size of the room. So, and then I have one of these little clean RF samplers. And that's what I got. I got a 10 dB attenuator in this line right here. When they did it, they had a little more accurate attenuation, selectable attenuation. But I get pretty decent results. But right now, like that spur right there shouldn't, I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, so you're looking at the output of an HT. Basically, this is all they did. They just hooked it up, keyed it up while it did its sweep. So you can see it doing the sweep across there. And this is, I'm doing 2 watts right there.
What's your sweep from,
This is from 100 to 1,000 megahertz
Okay.
at 10 kilohertz resolution bandwidth. That's
so
what
the center is 500,
Center is, yeah.
so the second harmonic would be that little tick
Yeah.
right there.
Yep. So,
Boo.
let's, so let's see here. This tells you first harmonic, 144 megahertz is at negative 22.5 dB, which is almost too much for this machine, but it's still okay. And then the second harmonic at 434 is negative 87. So the FCC regulation says that the second harmonic has to be 60 dB down from the first. And all the harmonics have to be at least 60 dB down from the fundamental frequency. So if you let the machine do the math for us, this one says it's negative 64.85 dB. But I know that that icon is actually better than that. So what I'm telling you is, this is kind of just fun playing around. It's not really that accurate, I don't think. But anyway, so if anybody wants to try one, I can show you one that's pretty gnarly. This is this puxing right here. Adaptator. This is kind of interesting test, and their charts in that article in QST are pretty telling to see what they ended up with, and most of all the big name brands passed. Icon, JC, Kenwood,
Connect Systems?
Motorola, Connect Systems.
With all the Chinese radios and
Yeah.
everything.
No, they did not all fit.
But I think they put all the Chinese radios into one category.
No,
They didn't?
no. Yeah, we was on a Alpine by themselves.
Oh, they did? Okay. So this is Puxing. And it's only 1 watt. So this is half the power. But you can see already, it's got more junk happening.
You're standing in front of some, oh my God,
Yeah, it's a little,
even a dummy can see that.
it's a little dirtier. It says it's only negative 51 dB. So even with my slightly sketchy setup, that one's not compliant.
Is that
So-
your radio?
Huh?
Is that your radio?
Yeah.
We'll have to confiscate that.
This is the one, this is like,
Construction party out in the, out in the park.
this is the one that sits on the shelf in case like everything else is broken. I don't even really know how to use it that good. That was the ICOM rig, was the first one. I do have this Connect system one, but it's UHF. Anybody else have any VHF radios you want to try?
You can try mine.
I can do UHF also, but then I gotta go to another part of the band.
Push the down button until it says, the down arrow until it says GARA V. So it'll be 4 or 5. There you go.
What is it? Oh, this is a IC90.
IC80,
IC80?
old school D-Star. Once proudly owned by C.W.
In the
Thompson.
front.
So let's see. This was Chris's radio?
It was. That means it works flawlessly.
On CW.
All right, you ready? We're doing, this is on way low power. Let me turn it up a little bit.
Push and hold the button that says low. I think it's, yeah, push and hold that.
All right. It's almost 2 watts.
There you go.
Ooh,
It's pretty clean, right?
sexy.
No, that one, that way off is not part of that.
So, yeah, there you go.
That's your base.
So what kind of radio is that?
This is an ICOM
IC80.
IC80AD. D-Star rating. So that's basically it. If anybody else has one, you want to try Tom's? You try to. How do you say that? Yasu or Yosu? Yezu.
No, it's one.
Is it making different frequencies?
Oh,
What power level are we on?
5.
5 watts. Can you turn it down to like 2 watts?
Maybe.
What would you have to do to get your UHF signal on there? I just gotta move the frequency. It's easy to do, but if we're gonna do more VHF radios, might as well just leave it here.
Well, you're going up to 1,000 megahertz, we already got the second harmonic at 440, so
That's true.
just throw it on there.
Throw it on there. Throw it on there. What the heck? Let's try to connect systems. I don't really know how to work this radio either. This is DMR.
Right hand knob turns it on and the blue button
That makes it go.
That's
How- what about-
That's the release to listen button.
What about changing the power? Is it one of these?
It's under the menus.
So is anybody using this hotspot now? Are you using this hotspot now?
No. Not.
Thank you.
It'd be terrible if the lights went out.
Does anybody have any questions about anything?
How much is one of those pieces of equipment running?
Yeah, what are
This-
you doing?
Yes.
I don't know.
He stole it. That's why he doesn't know.
Government issue, huh?
How many movies is that? What does PSRG mean?
Public safety radio group.
It's okay to jam those guys, right?
Sure.
Pardon?
$74,000.
On that? It's how much?
I don't know if it's the same model, 74 grand.
If it was like new,
74?
maybe.
Or
All right, here we
7,400?
go.
$74,000.
This thing says I got under repeater.
Who belongs to?
Do you hear me? Because like, it's not mine. Does it have the, you're in the repeater? Yeah. So did I just key the repeater up? The DMR machine. How about if I go to like another town?
Damn.
Boy, your dummy load's a good antenna.
I'm gonna go to,
That's what this is, isn't it?
My
I'll
God.
do Burlington.
Who owns that thing?
He does.
It's the price of
He's
this,
got money.
74,000?
It's not $74,000.
Chicken feed to him. He's big time good. He's
If I could afford that, I would like own that house.
You sell drugs or something?
All right, I'm trying Burlington.
Well, there's a cheaper one for 30.
Jesus. I guess I don't know.
Does it stop transmitting if it doesn't? get in? There's a simplex on here, right? Why don't you get to the? You're good.
Yeah. What's the difference in these things? You know? Yeah, but I mean, what? That must be a very nice piece of equipment.
There you go.
A little too much power. IF overload.
This is a low power.
So that's not the best radio ever either. But, like I said, take this with a grain of salt, because we're kind of just goofing. But, let's see.
And what kind was that that you just put up there?
This is a Connect Systems CS700 DMR radio.
It's pretty dirty.
Why you got it? I got 750 on you. Pick it up.
Possibly went back to high power.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah, because you're off scale. You're plus 10 dB.
Yeah.
Could you put my digital watch on there?
So,
Plus 10 dB, and the highest other spur is minus 60. That's a clean radio. Just the scale is distorted.
there you go.
Right, I was trying to get you the thing to go in there. The guy's got it, so you don't
Half a watt.
want to text him and send it to me. I said, "Fuck him for you." He's in New York, he ain't answered the phone.
So even at half a watt, you still have a little bit of stuff happening in the harmonics areas. But, I mean, this radio, so DMR radios, as far as DMR goes, this thing is like, it's a good radio, but it's basically the, not Baofeng, but it's like a cheaper version of a DMR radio. You got Motorola for $500 or $600, and this thing now is like $130 or something, right?
Now, those are closer to 200.
$200. So,
Put this one there for you.
all right.
Yeah, mine's done too, see?
But those are like 180 camera.
He's keeping all the
What we got
radios.
here? This is the same thing. Oh, this is the upgrade CS750. He's got more memories and stuff.
Make sure you don't get them confused, David.
Just give me a minute to switch.
Did they relabel it when you sent it in?
Yeah.
Are you able to see us 750 instead of 700?
Did you send this in, or did you buy it as a 750? Send it in. So what have we got, high power on here?
I had no idea. I got stuff from, you know who, from New York and programmed it and it worked.
Depending on which button it's got.
No, my Acer hasn't gone over yet. This?
I've got the ace.
I'm sorry.
That's an old radio, that's probably.
Let's go. Wait in my truck.
All right.
Actually, two of them.
I think it's talking translate. It's not in some-
Busted.
There's a spur.
Doesn't have a simplex on it.
No, I can't put a primary.
This one only operates on supporters.
Yeah.
It's the FM analog to sideband. There's no carrier. There's no fundamental.
Well, you see how good this is, that not everybody knows it.
He does. Gray-headed old man, for he don't know it, he don't know it. Especially the veterans. He's smashing.
Well, they're at home watching YouTube about to fall asleep.
This is Tom's radio on VHF. Oh, I need more power than that, Tom.
More power.
That's only
Oh, there you go.
quarter watt. Oh, well, no, that'll work. No, that'll work. So. Where's my button here?
Looks like the third harmonic is the tallest.
That's good, right?
80, 60, oh, 57.
Borderline.
Ooh.
Where's the,
IC80 is still the winner.
I see 80 so far as a winner, but I wouldn't.
I only transmit clean signals.
So, you guys want to see something cool?
Sure we do. When does that start?
That starts now.
Oh.
So, what's two? More interesting. We're gonna zoom in on 144 500, and we're gonna change the span to 50 kilohertz. We're gonna change the resolution bandwidth to 3 kilohertz. No, we'll do better than, oh, are we on average here? There's it. Okay, so this is zoomed in 50 kilohertz wide to see what the actual signal actually looks like instead of just a spike. So that's a FM. You can see frequency deviation there. FM modulation. 1, 2, 3, hello FM. So looks pretty cool, I think.
Looks cool, man.
Let's change the mode to D-Star. Try to learn how to use my radio. So that's, hello, see, this is D-Star. It's the same. It's not jumping around with deviation like FM analog. It's just digital data, and it's just, it always looks the same on the scope all the time. Because it's just a digital signal.
It's just sending out pieces, right?
It's just a
Packets.
steady digital stream.
Packets of
That's
data.
D-Star. If you want to see, let's look about how wide the signal is for D-Star. So that says 5 kilohertz per division. And,
About 20, huh?
well, at the very base, but that's not how they define bandwidth necessarily.
Certain number of dB below the peak.
Yeah. And there's a way to just bring it on here. Marker. Occupied bandwidth. Where are you? Measure.
Doesn't make any
There we
sense.
go. Okay. Occupied bandwidth,
Doesn't make any.
saying about between 7 and 9 kilohertz on D-Star. So let's change that now. Saying the same thing. No, there you go. So we're going up to. Hey. So it's like 26. What is it?
16.
16. Yeah, because hello. Yeah, it's going up around in the high teens. D-Star. The interesting one, I think, is DMR. DMR is time domain multiple access. So what that means is the signal switches on and off really fast. And you can actually see it. I gotta figure out
So
where I
you're
am
on
here.
your VHF on there.
So this is actually too slow. I think I'm on high power now. I don't want to blow my radio. No, it's on low power. So that's switching so fast that this machine is not even keeping up with it. But you can see that it's switching. And basically, the way that works is this radio is transmitting and receiving at the same time, almost. It switches so fast between transmit and receive all the time that that's how come it knows whether or not you got into the repeater. Because when you key it up, it'll give you a feedback to let you know you got on the repeater, and you just keep talking to it. But that's because the repeater, it receives the repeater in between. That's also how they put multiple channels on one repeater. So they have different time slots. So there's time slot 1, time slot 2. They just stack them on top of each other. They're in the same frequency spectrum. They'd be piled right in that mess right there all together, but they're split in the time domain. So,
They actually alternate.
yeah, they just alternate back and forth.
When you're transmitting on one side of it, it's an interrupted transmission, that's why it's doing that. It's not a steady transmission.
Yeah. And if you listen to it, like in FM, you can actually kind of hear it. It's like, that's what it sounds like in FM, sort of. That's my version of DMR.
The
But,
other interesting thing is the radio actually draws less power on DMR than it does on analog radio. You watch the voltage drop on the across the battery when you transmit. It's way less with DMR than it is with analog radio.
that's crazy because you think the electronics would suck up some of it.
You would think. You just watch put a voltmeter across the battery and key one up and you can see a definite difference.
But, so, we can also learn something about the different, all right, so the reason why a lot of digital modes started happening, especially in commercials, because FCC said, hey, everybody's gotta go narrowband. You gotta preserve channel bandwidth. So if you notice DMR on occupied bandwidth, we're getting some errant readings there in the 40s, but it's in the teens. It's just like an FM signal, pretty much the width. But they get 2 channels in that bandwidth. So even though they're running 16 kilohertz, they still have 2 channels there. But it's split in time. On D-Star and some of the other digital modes, they're doing frequency division, multiple access. So you got 6.5 kilohertz signal, so it just takes up less spectrum width. So theoretically, you can stick another one next to it, closer. So, but it's just a different way. I wish we had a fusion radio here because I really want to see what it looks like. Because they're supposed to be FDMA as well, frequency division multiple access. They have like 3 or 4 different modes. And one of them is like a wide mode for good audio, and then they have a narrow mode for spectrum conservation and all this. So I'd love to see that, but K2 CPR didn't show up and nobody else has a fusion radio here, so maybe another time. But that's kind of the cool thing about digital modes and how they kind of, they're all approaching the same problem, but they're solving it in a different way. So DMR is solving it by stacking them on top of each other at a time, and then D-Star is making it more narrow, which is kind of more traditional interpretation of narrow band. And Fusion, since Fusion was designed for amateur radio, there's no hard and fast requirement that we have to go narrowband in amateur radio. We still run regular analog FM that's 16 kilohertz wide. Fusion says, hey, this is an amateur radio product. We're going to give you the option. You can go narrowband, you can go wide, you can do whatever you want because hams have the liberty to do that in our own spectrum. But it would be cool to look at it. I was kind of hoping Patrick would be here.
And one of the problems with the different modes, the different digital radios do is none of them will talk to each other.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll an analog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they will in analog, but not digital.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's basically because of fundamental difference of the way they built their waveform. So, but there's some guys, I heard, read some on the internet the other day that there's guys that are, that TYT MD380, they're hacking that and putting a new firmware in. What is this? Oh, you have that? Okay.
I just got it.
Yeah, this is it. How much? 130 bucks? 110 bucks. DMR analog UHF, right?
Nice color LCD display.
Color LCD. How do you turn it on?
$100.
A pretty cool little radio. That'll get you on the DMR repeater in Greensboro. But a group of hams has hacked this radio, hacked the firmware, with the goal in mind of putting D-Star and Fusion and DMR on one radio. So it's neat what people are doing to kind of answer that problem with the digital modes not interoperating. That's about all I have. Anybody have any questions or anything?
All these radios are FCC approved, right? And they come out and they're just not.
I think the Chinese radios are not. Are they? Type accepted?
They receive a type acceptance to be sold commercially. If you were to build one yourself, you don't have to submit for type acceptance. So they are type accepted for sale to the amateurs we have.
Okay. Yeah.
Quality control's not there.
So, yeah, I mean,
With the Baofangs and the Wuzons, the version or the radios they submitted for testing obviously passed.
They send them a good one.
Yes. Not all Baofangs and Wuzons are bad radios, but much higher percentage of them don't meet spec.
it was like 50%.
Yeah.
I bought one, it was cheap.
That's what
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people do, and it's hard to argue that, but.
It'd be interesting to see what it would do.
I wish I had mine too.
Yeah. I got the UB82, they say it's got a different circuit board, it's supposed to be better than the 5R series.
Does anybody know anything about the Charlotte Ham Fest? Are they gonna have manufacturers reps there?
They usually do.
They usually do.
They
Yeah.
usually have all the
Last year
big
they
ones.
didn't, there were none.
Right.
Oh, really?
Last year. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go last year.
ICOM has to a large extent stopped going, so has Yaesu, and Kenwood hasn't been to a ham festival, except in Orlando and Dayton. In quite a while, I don't think. Elecraft was there. Of course, I think that's a good radio.
You have one?
KX3.
You haven't heard? What about vendors?
Vendors, there were, HRO was not there, and they probably, I think their stated thing is they won't. It's just not a money maker. You can order it on the internet. In fact, a lot of people would go to the Ham Fest and buy there, but have it shipped to avoid the tax burden. You buy something at over $100 from HRO, you get free shipping. And the advantage of picking it up at the Ham Fest was you would pay sales tax, but not have to pay shipping. If you got free shipping, well, you're paying sales tax if you pick it up there.
Looks nice.
A lot of people would order or buy the radio there, give them the cash, and then Mark would go back to Atlanta and ship it. And you'd have it in 2 days. Avoid the sales tax that way. Not many vendors are going there. MFJ was there. There's obviously DBJ Electronics, the small guys out of Jamestown. Stuff like that are at the Ham Fest. Obviously, the flea market is a big thing. You got QSL cars to be checked. Flex, I don't think was there last year. They
I
have
saw
been in the
Flex
past.
at Raleigh. Flex was definitely at Raleigh. Because I was geeking out on that 6700.
Still very worth going to a Ham Fest.
Yeah. And all the details for Charlotte Ham Fest are on our website and the calendar.
If you have a decent
Charlotte,
connection.
all the Ham Fests that were on the calendar that you sent me are now on the website.
I took them right off of ARRL, so.
I put whatever information on there that I can find. Some of them.
Are there still classified ads on the website?
There's a section for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Forums.
Is it hard to submit them?
No.
No. You need to
Just
create an
register-
account.
Register for the forum, and then you can.
When you register for the
Any
forum,
classified ads on there as you want.
yeah, I approve them, and I usually do it very quickly. Your account has to be approved so we don't get spam and all that kind of thing. You know, so you'll register for it, and then I'll get an email saying that you registered, and then I'll change your permissions to allow you to post. Pretty simple.
This is the W4 GSO 100 watt dummy load. It's pretty cool. I guess that's about all I have.
Thanks, Cameron.
Anybody else?
So,
I was gonna move to adjourn.
If you haven't worked South Sandwich, you're out of luck. They're off the air. The captain of the Bray Park declared an emergency. There was a ice floe that broke loose in the storm and was threatening to block the bay. The operators were offshore and on the boat, getting ready to head to South Georgia for the next stage.
The Stroke Maritime Mobile.
I was still holding out hope.
Who needs them anyway?
And KP5 is.
Not me.
or
If
K-
anybody wants to look at a 1958 ARRL license manual, they're ready.
K5P's gone too, right?
No, they're still there for through tomorrow.
Oh, cool, all right. Maybe I can get that. Through tomorrow.
Supposed to be through tomorrow. I think they've got to be packed up by sundown their time tomorrow afternoon, which is well after dark here.
My digital watch and pacemaker.
So we can get them gray line tomorrow morning, Dave.
Yes,
40 meters on CW.
40 or 80 CW. I got them about 9:30 on 20 meters, both Ready and CW, 9 or 9:30 p.m. And pointed short path, basically due west.
David moved to adjourn.
Oh, I have a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you next month.
Okay, it's over.
Don't forget your waiters, your wait staff.